Welcome back to the video blog. Adam Daniel Mezei is my name. This is the ADM video blog, and thanks again for watching. So, after the Hot Docs Film Festival, which ran from the 29th of April to the 8th of May, after that festival, I was kind of really addicted to docs. I'd seen 24 documentaries, 24 documentaries, a combination of in-cinema documentaries with an audience, and then the doc shop, something that Hot Docs, the organization, runs, which is where you can go in and with a secure access code, you're able to go in and watch documentaries that have been in previous Hot Docs film festivals, or what they say, 80% of the films that are cinematically screening at the current festival. In any event, I saw 24, and I was really kind of hyped up on docs. So I've been getting a lot of use out of my Netflix account of late, and I've been catching the 4-episode series of Empires, the Medici, Godfathers of the Renaissance. And I've been enjoying that, and I finished that series yesterday. And again, that's in the spirit of me being addicted to documentaries. So, there were the Medici popes. There were 2 popes in Rome who were of the Medici clan, and one of them was named Pope Leo. And then some of the experts that they brought in, the academic experts, were describing the Pope's attitude as being one of Umbilicus Mundi, which means the navel of the world, Umbilicus Mundi. And sometimes when I watch documentaries, I just have like a notepad off to my side, and I take notes of things that kind of stand out for me, that appeal to me, or the things that I want to refer to again. And that was one of the statements that really stood out for me, and I kind of wanted to just talk about it today. So do you anybody in your life who acts like Umbilicus Mundi? People who are, so self-absorbed and so caught up in what they're doing that their opinions are the only ones that matter, and they're not really interested in investigating other opinions. Or worse, people that engage in discussions with you, and they let you have your say, but they're not really listening to what you're saying. It's more like a pause in their long monologue to bludgeon or batter you with their particular opinion, and they're not really listening to what you're saying when you have your turn to speak. People, the self-absorption can take on a lot of different shades. It's not just that one that I just described now. It could also be people that are too vain, or people, that are so caught up in whatever they're doing professionally that they're not really interested in hearing about what you're doing. Or let's say in the film business, people that are interested exclusively in their films, they're not really interested in helping what you do. They're not interested in learning about what you've got. It's kind of hilarious when you go to film festivals and you go to various industry events and you have conversations with people and they start talking to you about their pictures, and you can see like their gaze somewhat veer off over your shoulder as you go into whatever, or you launch into your particular spiel, and they're not really listening to you. They're just waiting to, like I said, either move on to the next conversation or to wow and dazzle and mesmerize you with whatever they've got going on. People that behave like Umbilicus Mundi, their schedule matters. Their routine is the one that matters most. Whatever you want to do is not really interesting, and they're not even going to make room for what you do. This has wide-reaching sort of application into other areas of life, marriage, relationships. It could be working on a cross-functional team in some kind of a company situation. Heck, it could even be like getting onto a bus or a subway, and the way that you stand in the car, or the fact that you don't pull off your knapsack or your bag and you're bumping into people, or being somewhere in a public place and seeing some refuse or some detritus on the floor and not picking it up and like shifting it off and putting it near the margin, or putting it near the wall, because you never know, some dog might eat it, or some kid might shove it in their ear, or somebody might trip on it, or somebody might fall and land on this, a nut or a bolt, and they might chip their elbow. I think about things like this. This is how I behave, and I try to resist the temptation, the natural human inclination to want to be Umbilicus Mundi, and to think only about yourself and only what's good for you. And you really have to sort of labor against yourself, challenge yourself every minute of every day as you walk along, and you have to kind of resist the temptation to want to be completely self-absorbed. So that statement stood out for me, thanks to a documentary that I didn't think I was going to get that out of. Anyway, learned a whole heck of a lot about the Rinascimento, the Riber, the Renaissance, the period in the 16th century in Florentine Italy, and the Medici. and all the various artists like Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, and Vasari, and Brunelleschi, and all these architects, and all this great stuff, and the desire of the Medici family, a family who had basically, this is not related to the Umbilicus Mundi, I figured I would just throw you a few extra details, the Medici family who rose from a family of moneylenders and cloth traders into one of the absolute most powerful European banking and aristocratic dynasties that Europe in the Renaissance had then seen and known, rising to the level of the papacy and the dukedom of the Grand Duchy of Tuscany. How's that? Catch it if you want to watch it. It's a 2003 documentary with a great voiceover by a guy by the name of Massimo Montini, and he lives in the UK. In the voice there, he really knows how to make it great, and he can add his voice talents to the documentary. Thanks again for watching. Catch you again soon. Wishing you very best of things.